This is a quote by a person by name Thomas Carlyle. He's a Scottish philosopher, historian, mathematician, teacher of the Victorian era of England. He makes a speech in Manchester where he makes a very clear statement. A nation which gains control over iron, soon acquires control of gold. It's a very strong statement observation he makes, because India was a manufacturer of iron and steel for the world for 2000 years and more. So all the gold was flowing into India.
Those big ships that were navigating were actually carrying a whole lot of iron from India to the rest of the world. In a way, if you see much of the wars in Europe, which were fought between the Christendom and the Islamic world, the Arabs. So, you had all the crusades, the dark ages, and the swords of the Arabs.
For both sides, for both the armies, India supplied the steel swords. So the famous Damascus sword and all were supplied by India. So we were the arms supplier of the world for nearly 2000 years. So you can imagine the range of industrialization that was there in India. So country which controlled the iron, controlled the gold. After it moved from India, what happened? The country that controlled the iron went to England and Europe. So the wealth went to Europe, period of the colonization. So the shift of manufacture went from India to Europe. Then what happened? From the start of the 1900s, the shift of manufacture of iron and steel went from Europe to America. So all the gold moved towards the United States of America. The manufacture of steel, huge mega steel plants happened there. Then what happened? After World War II, Japan started manufacturing steel in a big way, importing raw material, raw ore from India. We have mentioned that in our book, Indo-Japan, how India agreed to supply continuous supply of iron ore to Japan. So the Japanese steel industry really flourished. So Japan steel became famous, because India is the only country that agreed to supply iron ore to Japan. So all the shifting happened towards Japan. 1980s onwards, who became the steel manufacturer of the world? China. So all the gold shifted to China. Look at how the pattern moves across few centuries. This one statement tells you a story of how industrialization has moved, how the gold has also moved, how the economy has moved. So this is an important barometer for us. Having seen here how gold follows steel and how India was the largest steel manufacturer for centuries and millennia, and also the largest repository of gold of the world. In this era of New India, we see that India is by far the largest manufacturer of iron ore. And what is interesting to note here is that 50% of the iron ore that India manufactures is exported. With the Make in India policy that this new India has undertaken, if we can once again ensure that most of the iron ore that India brings out is utilized within India itself to make steel products, both for Indian consumption as well as for export to the countries across the world, we can once again, as a land, attract the gold of the world and make India prosperous in multiple ways.